All of you! Get a life, huh?
It is the 11th year of the Meiji era. The samurai shogunate is no more and the usage of swords is prohibited, which incites bloodshed led by former samurai who felt wronged by the decision. The giant island prison of Gokumonjo sits in the middle of Lake Biwa, housing these criminals who counter this prohibition. This story focuses on three brothers from the Kumo family, Tenka, Soramaru, and Chutaro, who are beloved by the community and help to catch and ferry these criminals to this prison. At this same time, rumors spread of the potential return of the Orochi, this monstrous demon serpent which was sealed away with magic and has cursed Japan for many years. Every couple hundred years it seeks to be reincarnated, needing the body of a human host to do so, and its mere presence causes the sky to be perpetually cloudy over Lake Biwa. Many oppose the Orochi, wanting to find the host and destroy them, while others seek to aid in its resurrection. This slow-developing anime doesn't have the greatest of starts, but becomes better over time, building up suspenseful moments well and sprinkling in some nice twists throughout it. Even with all of the twists, the story isn't complicated to follow, being basic overall. However, the story is used in such a way to help showcase the complexities of humans, what each character is struggling with, and provides depth to each and every person within the large cast of characters it has. It is filled with a plethora of amazing and memorable quotes, some deep and profound while others are just hilarious, such as the one I started the video with. The anime titled Laughing Under the Clouds explores so many different themes, but everything always comes back to a single central idea, that being the importance of family in one's life. The motivation behind everyone's actions within this anime can be attributed to their family status, whether it's by blood, affiliation, or lack thereof. This show has a very large cast of characters, each getting significant screen time. 3 brothers, 2 people that have some type of affiliation with the notorious Fuma clan that hang around those brothers, 7 members of the Yama Inu squad, and even more characters beyond that, some more important than others that I won't go into detail with in this video. Like I stated, every single one of their actions and reasoning for doing so can be attributed to their family situation. Laughing Under the Clouds showcases this and really nails that point across for anybody who watches it. Let's start off with the Kumo family, since almost everything within the show revolves around them. First, they possess a great, unbreakable family bond which is enjoyable to watch throughout the show and subsequent movies. Tenka, my favorite character, always has a smile on his face and possesses ridiculous strength as a fighter. He was literally willing to sacrifice his life for Sora the night of their parents' death. He undergoes a sketchy Orochi experiment and quits being part of the Yama Inu to help raise his 2 younger brothers, acting both as their mother and father while still being a great example of a big brother. Even if something seemed irrational or weird, if it helped his family out, Tenka was willing to do it without a second thought, bearing the burden of everything by himself to make his family happy, while simultaneously always finding time to crack a joke and smile. As is said within the show, true strength is being able to laugh in the face of pain, and Tenka exhibits this perfectly. Sora wants to prove himself throughout the show, trying to measure his strength to his family, specifically Tenka, but unfortunately for him, it's a tall task. As a smart person would say here, comparison is the thief of joy, and Sora comparing himself to Tenka was stupid. He acts irrational, wanting to be on par to his older brother's greatness to help lighten the burden that Tenka carries throughout the story, but eventually realizes that it's best to do what he does best. Sora's growth throughout was a pleasure to observe, becoming an adult before your very eyes, realizing that he needs to step up to make his family's life easier. Chutaro is still really young, but wants to be helpful to his family in any way possible, even allowing himself to work with a criminal because he thought he was helping. Overall, his storyline was easily the weakest throughout the show, mainly because it was devoid of logic, but even in the case of that criminal, his motivations were also centered around wanting to belong to something bigger, a family. Shirasu, the Kumo family housekeeper for many years, set up this plan for the Fuma clan, his actual family, infiltrating the Kumo ranks, becoming like another brother and family to them. Even in the end, he acknowledged that it's difficult to fully commit to this grand plan because he does see himself as part of the Kumo family. Unfortunately, blood ties run deeper, which hurts the Kumo brothers, especially Tenka, who became great friends with Shirasu. In the show, you do not get a satisfying conclusion with Shirasu wanting various questions answered, but the second movie provides everything you need to know. Again though, his actions are a direct result of trying to help his family out, going to great lengths to accomplish his goal. Then there's Nishiki, an ex-Fuma clan member who is wandering the earth, struggling to find somebody to call family. She wants to be loved by somebody, which the Kumos, more specifically Sora, is able to provide for her. She even ends up fighting against the Fuma clan by the end of the story. Sora and Nishiki's budding romance by the end of the show and in the third movie is nice to watch develop. The Yamainu are a group of elite soldiers who act like one big happy family, putting their full trust in each other, having each other's backs. And just like any military, they act like one giant family, and we get to see that in the first movie. To some extent, they have an air of mystery surrounding them, and they kind of remind me of another elite group of fighters, the Hunting Dogs from Bungo Stray Dogs. There's the tight-knit town community, which is helped by the Kumos, who view them as part of their family. At the end of the show, the townspeople are even willing to risk their own lives to help fight off the Fuma, and Orochi helping the Kumos out. Every aspect of this anime comes back to family, whether it's the reason for their actions, a desire to become better as a person, or wanting to belong to something bigger. It showcases the difference between being alone versus having others you can call family. With this anime, more specifically the show, I wish the animation for fights were better since the overall animation was mediocre, ultimately taking me out of the show from time to time. Thankfully, there wasn't a ridiculous amount of action, and I'm glad the final fight was decently done, but the times there were fights, they were not very well done overall. Unfortunately, another drawback of this anime is the fact that there's so much crammed into 12 episodes that I feel like certain parts of it, although they were well done, could have been executed even better if given just a couple of extra episodes. For the 12 episode anime, I give Laughing Under the Clouds a 7.25 out of 10. Thankfully, this series doesn't end there since there are still many questions left to be answered. The Laughing Under the Clouds series is wrapped up nicely throughout the course of 3 additional movies. Any questions you had are answered, potential storyline offshoots are finished, and any characters that need some type of closure are given that. Laughing Under the Clouds knows how to properly end the series, tying off each and every loose knot, even though my ratings for each movie might not necessarily reflect this appreciation, as you will see. Thankfully, the movie's animation is improved upon as well. Specifically, the action sequences are much better compared to the 12-episode series, its biggest weakness. Just like in the show, the biggest thing these movies share in common is that everything within them comes back to one central idea: the importance of family. The first movie, titled 1 Year After the Battle, explores the Yamainu backstory, including Tenka, while providing each one of them closure. It's nice to see the group's origins and them working together, but it kind of left me wanting more. It's easily not as good as the show, but overall, it's a solid story. I personally give this movie a 6 out of 10. Movie 2, The Tragedy of Fuma Ninja Tribe, focuses on the Fuma clan backstory, the massive change the group underwent, and Shirasu and Kotaro growing up. It's the best installment within the Laughing Under the Clouds series, but this movie doesn't exist, nor is it as good as it is without the groundwork laid out by the show. In this movie, you learn just why Shirasu went to great lengths for his family throughout the show, and how deep his brotherly bond is with Kotaro. It is emotional, well written, exhibits the importance of family, and is wonderfully done. I give this specific installment an 8.25 out of 10. And the final movie, Conspiracy of the Military, is much different than the other 3 parts, focusing much more on action and the Orochi experiments, but still the importance of family shines through it. Nishiki's involvement and closure was done pretty well, but I can't really say the same for the newly added characters of Agiha and Tora. What I can appreciate here is that, again, even with these brand new characters that know so little of each other, family is still the focal point of the story, with each character searching for somebody that can understand them. I'm glad that anything dealing with the Orochi experiments is cleared up in this movie, but unfortunately this is easily the weakest part of the series. The pacing of this felt far too rushed. The fights are decent, but the overall story is mediocre, feeling completely different from the others, besides family being the central theme still. I give this final movie a 5 out of 10. Overall, the Laughing Under the Clouds series is enjoyable and worth checking out if anything I said throughout this review piqued your interest. Yes, I might be a bit harsh when it comes to a couple of movies, but I just don't think the quality storytelling from the show is represented well in movies 1 and 3. However, the second movie about the Fuma clan is very well done. Overall, this series is 100% worth checking out if you want a good story centered around family with all questions about it answered. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.